Hi guys, it's Mark from Burton Bibles, and I hope you're all well, and I hope you're all managing to cope in this coronavirus lockdown that continues around the globe. I just wanted to share with you a video about two Bibles that I have recently come into possession of, and these are RL Allan Bibles. They're just here. We'll take a close look at these at the desk very shortly, but these are the Allan New American Standard Bible, the Reader's Reference Edition, and the English Standard Version, New Classic Reader's Edition. So these are both kind of reader-orientated, focused, if you like, editions, one in the NASB and one in the ESV. So it'll be interesting to have a look at what these Bibles are like. So let's take them down to the desk and take a good look at them. Okay then guys, let's take a look at these two Bibles from RL Allan. As I said in the intro there, both are reader-focused, shall we say, Bibles. They are both fairly similarly sized, tech blocks being very, very similar here. Both bound in a nice, really nice black goatskin. The one on my left is the ESV New Classic Readers Edition, and the one on my right is the NASB Reader's Reference Edition. The both Bibles, they do have some similarities, but they also have some differences between them, which I thought would be nice to see side by side. For example, the one on my left is an Allan binding by Charfleet book bindery here in the UK. The one on the right is an Allan binding by Royal Youngblood. So it'll be interesting to see the differences between them, if we can discern any. The goatskin on the left is a Highland goatskin, which is very, very nice, has a different grain to the one on the right. The one on the right is a standard goatskin cover, which to me the grain looks very, very familiar, looks very Cambridge-esque, and other Bibles that I've had goatskin bindings in, it looks very similar to that. Both are leather lined, both are edge lined, both have these really nice blue, sort of royal or navy even blue ribbons on them. Not that I'm a big fan of ribbons, as you know, but these do look very attractive. So to look at this ESV one, the gilding is a lot deeper red, and I do notice that the gilding does bleed into the text block at different points. You can maybe detect that at the top of the pages there. There's a bit of feathering in of the binding of the gilding, which isn't a massive problem, but it is there, and I noticed that it's definitely not there on the Youngblood one. So let's concentrate on this ESV New Classic Reader's Edition. So this is a 10% enlargement of the Crossway Classic reference typesetting. Excuse my computer making noises there. So this is a very familiar text block that we're going to see here. As we open it up, let's get straight into it. The Bible lies beautifully flat, really flat wherever you go. The text block feels really good. This is really high quality paper, as you'd expect from Allan, and certainly at this price point as well. This is a 36 GSM paper, which feels great. Opacity is fantastic, and it feels nice and thick, substantial in the hand as well, without making this Bible overly thick. It certainly is on the slimmer side, I would say. Very familiar dual column set out with centre references, but no lines kind of going on, no borders, no underlines. This really does allow this text block to breathe quite nicely. Obviously here we have the poetic set out that Crossway go for. It is verse by verse here, but as we move into more familiar text settings, it switches to that paragraph layout, which I'm not a massive fan of, I must admit. But there are really nice bold figure references. Let's see if we can focus in on that. So you'll be able to see those bold figure references there. We have headings for the chapters, and we do get a little book introduction as well on these, which is always nice to see. Now, of course, it's not red letter, as you will see here. And if we go to Matthew chapter 1, we'll just see if it is self-pronouncing. I suspect it isn't, but we'll have a look. So let's have a look. Yes, it's not. There's no self-pronunciation marks there, so nice and clear to read. So I hope you're getting that from the camera. The ghosting always looks worse on camera, I can tell you. It's really nice. There's nice cream opacity to this paper, which is very pleasant indeed. In the back you'll get the familiar crossway concordance as we zoom out, and you'll also get the familiar crossway maps in there as well. And of course Allan do put 36, I think it is 36 or 32 sheets of lined paper, which is a really nice stock for your notes in the back. So all in all, really nice. It seems a bit different from the usual crossway ESVs that we see, so I really do like this binding as well. It's very nice. Slight notes about the gilding aside, this is a really nice production. If you like your ESV Bibles, this would certainly be a good one to look for from Allan. But let's look at this New American Standard one, because this one I feel is the better Bible that I've been enjoying. Just in terms of the layout, of course, and this is all subjective, so do bear this in mind. This cover's really nice. It has a slightly different design. You can see there it's got some tooling around the perimeter and also inset from the perimeter. Obviously Allan do produce Bibles with quite generous yaps, and you can see that here it well overlaps the text block, giving you that little bit of protection to the page edges. There you see them side by side, so the NASB is a little bit thicker, possibly due to the verse by verse layout, higher page count. But yeah, I really do like this this binding. It's very nice. The other one is nice as well, but I do particularly like the look and the feel of this one. So it is the NASB that we're looking at here. Bible lies flat pretty much anywhere that you go to, but we'll see that there is a difference in the layout here. Yes, it's still dual column, but we have a slightly more generous centre column for references. It is demarcated as well by lines. You'll see that there. It does have the bold number indices though, which is nice to see there, nice and clear. They're all on the left hand side, as you can see, and the chapters are demarcated with a horizontal line across the centre column as well. Each chapter has a heading. Paragraphs tend to have headings as well, which is nice. No book introductions, that's fine. But the clarity of the font here is really what's speaking to me as we move to the Psalms and to the poetic layout being very basically similar. It's just so clear. This paper again is wonderfully opaque. It is the same 36 GSM paper that we have here. But it just feels a little bit different. I don't know if it's exactly the same paper. It might be, but this just feels smooth, seemingly smoother and less crisp that we find in the ESV Bible that we looked at. But really do enjoy this layout. It's something a little bit new, a little bit different. It's not something I'm familiar with. I don't know the NASB at all well. This is probably just a standard. Is it Lockman Foundation that do the NASB? This is probably a standard thing. In fact, I think if we flick over to the beginning, it will tell us that this is an NASB large print ultra thin reference edition, the updated edition, copyright 2003 by the Lockman Foundation. So that's interesting. It is printed and bound in the Netherlands by Royal Youngblood. Which is interesting. The other Bible was, I think it was printed by Youngblood but bound in the UK by Charfleet. But this is really nice and crisp and clear. I wonder if there's a KJV that looks similar to this, because this is really nice. It's a digital typeface, but it's different from the Westminster KJVs that I also really do like. I do like this really clear centre column reference system. Really quite nice. Nice clear, and again the ghosting is pronounced, but I would say that the ghosting in this Bible is even less. There's even less ghosting here than in the other one. Let's go to Matthew chapter 1. Again, no self-pronouncing text. which I do like to see, and there's no red letter as well, which again is refreshing. There is a plethora of red letter Bibles out there. It's nice to see one that isn't red letter and that does it so well. Really nice bold paragraph breaks and chapter breaks there. You could navigate through this Bible really easily, which for me is a real plus point, because when you're preaching on the platform or whether you're studying at home, this Bible, it just really speaks to me. This is one that I could definitely use. The NASB is not a translation that I particularly use. It's a nice literal translation. I do like that, but it's just not one that is very popular over here in the UK. But this layout and typeface makes me wonder why, because essentially it would be similar-ish to I guess an ESV or a New King James. The New King James and ESV certainly have more market share in the UK. But this is really nice. Really do like this Bible. In the back we've got a concordance, which I imagine is a standard Lockman concordance for the NASB, and of course maps, which are copyrighted to the Lockman Foundation. And there's those 32 it is, sheets of lined paper in the back for your notes. So I hope you found this look at these two beautiful RL Allan Bibles interesting. Certainly this is my first exposure proper to Allan Bibles in the flesh. I really do like them. They do seem very high quality. I wouldn't mind picking up a KJV, either a long primer or a Brevia. Not a Brevia, a Clarendon. I do, of course, have my Oxford Brevia Clarendon wide margin Bible, which I've shown you on the channel many times. That is an Oxford typeface, which Allan do still produce. But it would be interesting to see what else they produced. So this is all interesting. The website for Allan is Bibles Direct, biblesdirect.co.uk. Check them out. They do ship all over the world, and they do make very, very nice Bibles. So that's certainly a positive thing for me to have a look at these, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. And we'll catch up on another video soon. Take care. God bless. Bye.